The Swiss karate phenom, Andy Hug, who became a star in the golden era of 90s heavyweight kickboxing, is probably best known for his infamous kicking ability. His technical diversity and athleticism saw techniques utilised rarely seen at the highest level of competition in kickboxing. Sadly, Hug passed away from leukemia in his mid-30s, but he has gone down as one of the best heavyweight kickboxers of all time, winning the K1 Grand Prix in 1996. His flamboyance and kicking dexterity are what stand out most when you think about Hug, but an important and frequently used piece of his game was the infighting. Hug's go-to defence was the classic shell up and put the blinkers on. As the often smaller man, standing 5'11" and weighing just 215 pounds, he was a small heavyweight and was up against it facing giant men like Jerome Labana and Ernesto Hoost. This shell-up defence is relatively safe and it keeps you in position to counter back instantly. The Dutch favour this style of defence and it has become the standard for the majority of modern day kickboxers. Hug would often fire back with low kicks from here and accumulate damage on the opponent's leg. As the opponent is punching, they cannot block and the leg becomes easy pickings. Hug was also very heavy-handed, so standing his ground and trading was often not a bad strategy for him. By shelling up, it allowed him to plant his feet so his return punches could be delivered with maximum force. Hug also liked to lunge in from the shell and physically push his opponents back, knocking them off balance. This would allow him to advance and kick the leg or head on the break. And he would often march in to use his famous axe kick. The lunging in with the tight guard also smothered the work of his opponent or enabled Hug to clinch, spoiling the action, and stifling his opponent's ability to land damaging shots. Striking off the break was a great technique for Hug and he scored a few highlight reel knockouts doing so. With his heavy hands and the dexterity he had with his legs, he was a danger at all ranges. Unfortunately, Hug was victim of this himself in 1998 loss to Peter Ertz, where he was caught with the high kick on the break. In Kyokushin karate and similar sports like Taekwondo, all the top athletes have incredible flexibility and will kick high from right in front of their opponent. Hug came up against this often, and that can be seen here in his Seido Kaikan bout with Kakuda, where he attempted high kicks from in a clinch. Seido Kaikan allowed knees however, and Hug utilised them from the clinch, knocking Kakuda out with a knee to the head. The 90s K1 events all allowed limited clinch, and a lot of the fighters had success there. Again, Andy unfortunately had this strategy used against him when he rematched Ernesto Hoost. Hoost heavily used the infighting and clinch to wear on Hug. Hug's shelling up defence was exploited, and he would often remain covered up for too long, taking barrages of punches from Hoost, who went on to win by unanimous decision. Hug was a fantastic fighter and really brought karate to the forefront, showcasing the full arsenal of techniques available in the sport. But maybe the overlooked aspect of his and many other fighters' games was his ability to work on the inside, smother opponents' work, and land effective strikes from an uncomfortable range. Once again, thanks for watching. I hope I did this legend justice, and if you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe and share. As always, thanks from Pro Striking.